Hi, and welcome to Cynics Movies. Black Panther is a 2018 American superhero movie that centers around the independent African nation of Wakanda, which is also the most technologically developed city in the world. Relax and enjoy. King T'Chaka visits his brother and a Wakandan spy, Jobu, in America to see how he was doing and to keep him abreast of the recent happenings back home. King T'Chaka informed Jobu how there was a breach on their border wall by Clow after stealing a piece of their most valued asset, vibranium. Vibranium is the strongest metal, not just the strongest metal, but also the most expensive, which the Wakanda people have developed their city with. It was obvious Clow had an insider to be able to pull that stunt on them. King T'Chaka found out it was his own brother Jobu who sold them out. King T'Chaka got privy of this knowledge with the aid of another spy, Zuri, who is Jobu's closest friend, unknown to Jobu that Zuri is also a Wakandan. Upon this shocking revelation, Jobu tries to kill Zuri, but King T'Chaka intervenes by killing his brother first in defense of Zuri. After King T'Chaka dies following a terrorist attack at the UN, T'Challa returns home to take his rightful place as king, but just before the crowning ceremony his only wish is for Nakia, his ex, to be present. Nakia is currently in the hands of her abductors and being transported to some place with some other women until T'Challa lays an ambush for them and rescues Nakia. Turns out he still isn't over Nakia yet, as he freezes upon sighting her. T'Challa is back home with Nakia and Okoye, general of the king's army, to meet his mother and sister, Shuri, who's the brain behind Wakanda's first-class technology. In UK London, Clow, with assistance from Eric and his girlfriend, is able to steal a piece of Wakanda's artifact from a British museum. The ceremony to crown T'Challa as king begins, and as custom demands, a challenge is thrown open to any tribe with royal blood in Wakanda who would like to contest against T'Challa for the throne. As Zuri, the anchor of the ceremony, makes this announcement, all but the Jabari tribe lead by M'Baku, believed to be the outcast, decline. T'Challa accepts M'Baku's challenge to the fear of many. The fight ensues and M'Baku seems to lead as he inflicts so much injury on T'Challa. T'Challa is able to regain his strength and reconfirms his identity as he gets loose from M'Baku's grip and corners M'Baku to a tight position where he has no other choice than to surrender, much to the applaud and excitement of the rest of the tribes. Another section of the ritual, a herb for the newly crowned king, is prepared and given to him to drink. In the process, he is buried alive as he transcends to meet the spirit of his late father. They discuss a little and his father reassures that King T'Challa was going to make a great king. At the open square, King T'Challa is having a little chit-chat with Nakia where he asks her to stay back with him, but she says she cannot turn a blind eye to those who need her to come through. King T'Challa asks her what she would have Wakandana do, and she's of the strong opinion of letting refugees in and sending aid to those who need them from Wakanda, as Wakanda is strong enough to provide for outsiders as well as protect its own. Wabi, T'Challa's friend of the border tribe, is of the opinion that Wakanda ought to be taking over the world with its weapons. King T'Challa thinks otherwise, as that has never been their way. While they conversed, Okoye signals the immediate presence of the both of them as it has come to their notice of the missing Wakanda's artifact from the museum, Clow being responsible. Wabi seeks revenge on Clow following his last attack on Wakanda and makes King T'Challa promise to bring Clow to him. King T'Challa arranges with Nakia and Okoye to retrieve the artifact from the supposed site of exchange, but things go south quickly as Okoye is impatient about the whole process. There's a heated car chase as soon as Clow escapes from the premises with his men. King T'Challa eventually catches up with Clow and is shocked to discover the weapon he uses is a vibranium substance. Clow is kept in custody of the American police until Chris comes to his rescue. King T'Challa tries to stop him, but he's defeated by Chris, causing Clow to slip out of their hands. But King T'Challa discovers to his uttermost shock, the ring he wears on his finger is the same Eric wears on his neck. He takes this shocking revelation to Zuri and demands answers, only for Zuri to reveal that his father's brother had a child they had abandoned in America because of the evil his brother, Jobu, had brought upon Wakanda. Upon killing Jobu, King T'Chaka made Zuri swear never to speak of what had happened then. King T'Challa is pained about this situation but is unsure how to reveal this to his people. Meanwhile, he brings back Everett, a white CIA agent, to get healed of his bullet wound to the spine when he tried to rescue Nakia the other time, instead of Clow, to Wabi's disgust. Chris shows up at the border, claiming to have killed Clow, winning Wabi's heart instantly. He's let in, and that's where he reveals he is also of royal blood, throwing a challenge at T'Challa. T'Challa at the challenge is thrown off shores and is assumed to be dead. Chris is crowned the new king of Wakanda. Nakia finds a way to hide the queen in Shuri and also manages to keep a herb safely away from Chris' reach as Chris orders for all of it to be burned to ashes. Nakia convinces the queen that the Jabari tribe are the best options they have for safety and overthrow of the stranger they now have currently on their throne. M'Baku shows them T'Challa in a subconscious state, saying one of his fishermen found him in the rivers and brought him in. He returns following a brief meeting with his ancestors, saying he couldn't rest knowing a monster they created with their own hands sits on the throne. Chris makes moves to send weapons out of Wakanda's territory so they could take over the world, much to Wabi's delight. T'Challa, Nakia, Shuri, and Everest return to salvage the situation and take back his throne. A fierce battle ensues as Chris refuses to surrender and take on another challenge, since T'Challa never gave in. He maintains his orders on all the weapons to be sent out. Everest, with Shuri's aid, is able to bring them down while Wabi surrenders to the love of his life, Okoye, to end the fierce battle for the very sake of Wakanda. King T'Challa is victorious over Eric, but Eric chooses to die like his ancestors who saw death as a better option than bondage, instead of taking the option T'Challa offered to heal him. T'Challa is grateful to Nakia for saving his life and that of his family. Nakia was going to get all defensive and say it was only her duty, but she has a second thought about it. T'Challa reaches for her lips and still asks her to stay with him. They could still grant her wish. She doesn't decline this time around. King T'Challa buys off the house where his father killed his brother and makes it the first Wakandan International Outreach Center to be overseen by Nakia and Shuri. T'Challa goes ahead to make a public statement of Wakanda's intention to assist the world the way it could. But a question is thrown at him. With all due respect, King T'Challa, what could a nation of farmers have to offer the rest of the world? King T'Challa and Everest only let us smile, knowing how ignorant the questioner is. Thank you for your time.
Please hit the like and subscribe button to get more interesting videos like this.